Hello.
Yeah, we can
Yes,
see you.
Sandal. Yeah.
Okay. So just I will, in 2 minutes, I will refresh the last session, what we have discussed, and then we will start our today's session. So here, whatever the applications that we want to see, we can see in the application section, there is a dashboard. And after that, in the application, we can see how many applications that we are handling in the application section. And what are the APIs that we configured, we can see in this API section, any SSO integrations. And what is the authentication, which is social networks that I have authenticated, or enterprise networks, passwordless authentication profile, which profile I want to follow. There are 3 profiles as of now Auth0 is providing. So which profile you want, you can select any of the one profile. And then user management, users list, whatever the users that we have enrolled in our application, those users list and roles you can see in this. And security point of view, what are the securities that you have enabled, attacker protections, multi-factor authentications, which multi-factor authentications we have enabled, those all details you can watch here. Auth profile rules, auth profile pipeline rules means how the how the authentication process should be done, that we need to configure here. So for example, multi-factor authentication, if you want to enable, then you need to define that rule. So what are the rules? We can, for example, if you want to integrate with ping ID or any other auth, then you can do it in the rules. We need to configure the rules and hooks. Extension is the like whatever the logs that are there or any other thing. If you want to explore from the, for example, you are running log stacks in the AWS environment, there you want to integrate, so that kind of things you can do it in the external. And any additional features are there that are present in the marketplace. And then settings of this, the projects which we are doing, the account which we created, that is for the which environment, which like it's a dev environment or QA environment, or which environment, production environment we are created, that configurations, the tenant configurations we need to do. So in the settings, a lot many other settings also there, but mainly main important settings that I am telling, like this environment tag. So development environment or staging environment or production environment. So these are the things that we covered in the last session. So let's start with the today's session. So today's session, what I'm going to show is, we will create a small application, sample application of single page, and then we will how we are adding the multi social networking environment to get users directly log into our system. So let me create one. First, we'll see that. So let me give the application name like so once you click here, it will give you a sample application and options which technology you want to select, like Vue.js or Angular or React, JavaScript, which one. So I'm going with the Angular now. So whenever you click here, it will allow you a sample download a sample project. So I'm downloading the same. So here, once you download it, we need to do some settings on the callback URLs, allowed web, and these settings we need to configure. Just now I will show you in soon. Let me copy this. And then I will download. Yeah. So delete it, download. I will cover up the rest of the things. So the things which we need to do after quick start, we can download a sample project, and let me extract this and start the npm, because it will take to build some time. So let me create a new one. Any name you can give, just I given random name. So if you check in the sample projects, you will have the details sample project. The package, whole package you will get with the auth service as integrated. You can do that externally also, existing application also. So let me open this project in the DSS. So this is the for project and start. Pre-requirement is like Node.js and AngularJS and NPM. We are pre-installed to do this sample, and that already I have installed. So let me run NPM. It will take some time. Meanwhile, we will come and see the settings. So here the settings, what we have to do is we can see in the settings section the name of our application and the domain, which domain. It should be custom domain, not this the sample. This is a temporary they have provided auth0, and this is the client ID, and this is the client secret. And then the logo, if custom logo, you can add it for this. And then I will show you where exactly this will be reflect when we are logging in. And this is a single page application, so the endpoint authentication will be none. Otherwise, we should set the basic or post method. And then here we need to add the callback URLs. So for me, the callback URL is localhost that we need to add. I'm adding the callback URLs, means once user logged in, where he have to navigate in the local host, because this is test application. So that is the reason I'm configuring the local host only. And then the other settings are important, but no, it's not required. So I'm skipping this token settings. And in the advanced setting, when we enable the multi-factor authentication, we will deep in this area. Okay. Auth process and grant types. So here, when we enable the multi-factor authentication, then we will come back here and I will explain how we need to enable the multi-factor authentication as well. It's a setting configuration only. So once these callback URLs are set, we need to save it. So this setting is done. And after that, we can see some more add-ons. The SAML based or web based federation protocol enable applications and connections. So currently, whenever you created any application, Google Auth2 will be by default, it will be integrated. I will show you in the soon when the application is up, and the organization will come back later here. So let me see, where is it? Okay, it will take some time. So in the quick start, you see all the step-by-step process how we need to do. Okay. In the down, they have each and everything. They have clearly given the instructions how we need to configure the callback URLs and configure the logouts, configure the allowed web origins, the URLs. This is testing. They have provided localhost. Otherwise, it will be like custom domain. Okay, these are the steps that they have provided. Okay, this is done. So now I'm installing the Auth0 SDK. So meanwhile, till the time I will explain the project structure, how it was there. So the project structure is now, this is the sample project that they have provided, and we can use existing also. So in the main important for here is the domain client ID that will be configured in the auth config file. Let me open that. So here is our auth config file. So you can see this client ID which is configured here in the settings. You can see this. So which is ending with capital K 1K. So that is this. If you want to add different application, you can change this client ID. For now, I am removing this because I don't have any API. This is used for the in case of API. Now I'm removing this for time now. Later we will add it. And then this is the API service which they have used, how they are invoking. So I want to show what are the APIs that they are provided. Uh, for all the applications, these APIs are common. Sorry, I need to click here. So these are the endpoints. So OAuth endpoints. What are the if the backend OAuth service just now I shown you, right? That service internally uses these are the methods for this application, and OpenID configurations, OIDC, and then JSON web key set and SAML URLs, federation URLs. Okay. So those all internally, one I will show you, like for the authentication process, it will invoke like auth. There somewhere. It will be there. I will show you later. So now after this auth configuration, okay, let me start if it is done. Okay, so it is done. So the main important here is the entry point and NAVs. I will show you those, navigate through you them. So these are the components that they have in this project. And this is the NAV bars, the top menu bar. These are the some sample contents they have added as a part of the application. So in the NAV, in each and every Vue.js or Angular or React.js, these are the common components and the template files which each and every independently configured, like CSS, HTML, and TS file and TS file. These are the mainly. So these two files have the JavaScript files, TypeScripts, and then these two have HTML template. What is the my HTML should be present when user clicks on the anything, and this is the CSS if at all any CSS is there. Okay, this is done. Let me start here. So npm start. So this is starting. You can use npm start or ng serve, this command. Anything you can use it here. It will take 1 or 2 minutes to build the application and start the server, front-end server. So till the server get up, we will go and see the configurations for the social integrations. Let me explain without delaying, and how we need to do the second step, how we will integrate the social integrations. So initially I said we have only the Google Auth2, right? Now if I want to add any other Facebook or LinkedIn, then you can create simply a connect, click on the connection, and you need to select, for example, LinkedIn I want to add. So you can select the LinkedIn connection and they will give some basic information. It will work like OpenID Connect protocol. So the instructions also here it will be provided. Uh, Here the API key is important. So basically this is the business, right? When I want to integrate in my application with LinkedIn, we need the API keys. So for the demo purpose, we can leave this blank because the original production environment API keys we need to get from the LinkedIn site, not from here. So that also how we need to obtain the API keys for each and every provider will give how we need to obtain the API keys through some payments or through some are open also there for basic information. So for now I am using the Auth0 keys, so I am leaving this two as a blank, and then only these two profiles will only this profile information, some basic information only we will get. If you want extra informations like this extra information, if you want, then we need a permission from the LinkedIn. But as of now, we will get only these information. So the similar configuration is there. What are the attributes? We call it as a scope in the environment. We call it as a scope, and we need to enable the LinkedIn profile should be appeared for what, how many applications this should be appeared. For example, I have more than 1 or 2 application or 10 applications, but I don't want LinkedIn should be present in all the applications. In my case, I'm adding only this because I have only one, and then just click and you can go back your application and you can check it that it was added as a part of the authentication process. Apart from the Google, you can see in the connections this LinkedIn also. No. So let me check. Yeah, it's up. Let me open. So this is a sample application. So whenever you click on the login, so you used to get, as of now, you see the continue with Google. This was previously by default, and this was recently we have added. So let me add one more and show you it will be appeared here. So let me add a social Facebook here. So again, same behavior for the social Facebook also. The API keys which we need real time, we need to fetch from the app ID. Otherwise, the basic information will be provided by using the Auth0 keys, API keys, which are inbuilt here. So these are the scopes that Facebook is provided. Means if you get original API keys, we can get the particular user who is enrolling in our application. We can get all these informations from the Facebook, his events, his personal details, where is his hometown or post, what are the posts, what are the videos that he has uploaded. Those are all information we can get. These are called like API scopes. And I'm simply clicking create, and which application I'm adding this application back to here. And if you go back in your application and you can see in the connection, and we have password, what email also, that also we have, we can see. So enterprises, if any enterprises applications that you have integrated in your application, you can appear here. Any passwordless applications, these will be appeared here. So now I have added Facebook. So if I go back and open my application and log in, if you click login, you see here the Facebook now. And you can observe this, that the API keys which I am telling, that is this error, not error, it's an information, because this API Auth0 provided keys we should not use in the production environment. This is a warning from the Auth0. If it is a real API keys we have, then we will not get this information. So let me continue with Google here and login. So I'm logging. So actually I have, okay. Click. So here you will see the information, and I will get the basic information from the Google, the gojnl gmail.com, and this is the basic information that they will get from the Google. And you see this information is already loaded in our system, and it was configured like this user is enrolled in our system by using Google Auth-P2. So in the users list, user management, in the users, you see just now, previously this was empty. Now the Goji Anil Kumar has enrolled in our system, in our application through the Google Auth-P2. If he is enrolled from the Facebook, then it will be Facebook or LinkedIn, whatever the data. So this is the information, basic information, and the logs. You can see the logs also here. What are the from in the monitor section? These logs, and these logs you can explore outside in the AWS environment or Logstash in the externally also, like Kibana logs, which we have. So wherever you want to integrate that external things, we can configure here in the external extensions. So, but in the Auth0 dashboard itself, we can see the logs also. And now if you click on logout, the logout API is there in the backend. So those will be invoked. Okay. So why generally nowadays every application is rushing to the Angular or React is the mobile comfortness. In the mobile application also, it will be very flexible, visible in the screen fit. That is the reason everyone rushing to the React.js and Angular one nowadays. So if you see in the URLs, so the authorized URL which is invoked in the backend, okay, and then if I continue login, and after clicking on logout, it will invoke the logout URL which we configured. So this is the logout. In the payload, it will send the client ID. Now we will check the multi-factor enabling. So to enable the multi-factor, first we need to set the rules. So first we will go and we need to set the rule. So to set the rules, which type of what are the different authentications we need to provide. So for that, we need to click on create rule, and we can select. There are multiple rules also. Even for example, machine to machine or from the marketplace access or access control. So even I am also not familiar all these. What are the I know that I will explain. So access control. For example, IP address valid allowed list means I want to allow few IP addresses directly to my application. So then we can create this rule. Okay, so that way we can create the rules. So similarly for multi-factor authentication also we need to create the rule. In the create rule also, if you go here, we have access control and multi-factor, enrich profile. These are the separate sections are there. Guardian applications, what are the multi-factor authentications by using which. So now I am explain the multi-factor authentication with Auth0 app only, because by default in the free account they will provide only Auth0 application. Rest of the then we need to integrate some more parameters with the which app you want to use. So let me enable this multi-factor authentication with Auth0 app. So and adaptive app means different application. If you want to use app, then you will go with this. So if I select that and click on save, this will be shown in the list, rules list. I have already added, that is the reason you got this. So I need to enable. So I'm enabling this. So if I enable, the existing user also need to install the application, and they need to scan the your QR code. So once I have enabled, it will give the existing users also will upgrade. So now I'm going back and I'm trying. I think I have saved it, right? Yeah. And I need to add the apps also. Which apps I need to add? So let me check. I have added the app. We need to add which apps you want to do the multi-factor authentication. So that configuration we can see in the settings, in the advanced settings, you see that in the advanced settings, we need to enable the multi-factor authentication. Okay. This will come back later. So once it is done, we need to save it. Once you save it, if user is trying to log in, then it will ask to enable the multi-factor authentication. So if I continue, then it will give. So I have enrolled. So you see this App Store and Google Play, the application means apps URLs. These are Auth0 URLs which are configured. If I click here, it will move to the Auth0 application, which is already installed in my mobile. And then if you want to configure some other apps, then we need to set those apps URLs we have in the multi-factor authentications. I will show you them later. Let me click on continue and open the app which is present in my mobile and scan this URL, this QR. So if I scan it, then the account will be directly logged into the application. So I'm directly logged into the application. So this is the way how we integrate the multi-factor authentication here. If new user is logged in, let me log in, log out, and a new user, I need to open the application localhost. So we log in to other user. Then initially when user log in, then also it will go through the same phase. Oh, I think it is directly configured. Okay. It's directly allowing. Okay, yeah, leave this part. So this is what the multi-factor authentication, how we are enabling. Next thing, we can do the same thing with the passwordless also. So let me enable the passwordless and show you in the UI when user wants to log with the other. So let me change, first show you the profile change. So if you got change the profile authentication way for the second option, which is there, first it will ask the email ID and then it will ask further details. So if you select this and then save it, let me clear the cache. So first it is asking email ID. Previously it was asking email ID and password. So by simple on click, we can change the profile also. If you go with this, again, this is a biometrics one. So we can select any profile. Just I want to save that only. Let me go back and save it, the original one. And what else I want to share with you is passwordless. Next thing, I will take 5 more minutes, then we can log off. So already I have enabled this, but there is some configurations that we need to do. I will show you that. So these are the, for if I want to SMS environment, if I want to share, then we need to configure like this. This toll SID we need to get from the providers. As of now, we are using internally the Auth0 providers. So just we can give the random names and this is the from, and you will get this option in the respective applications when we enable this. So here we have the applications, which applications you want to enable. So once user is logged in, you will see this option in the UI. So me relog it. Actually, we are supposed to see here the different way of login where we will get, give me a second. Maybe I didn't save it or what, not. Didn't try this. One second. Okay, I will show you this. Actually, what I'm trying to show you is we can see the other way of logging into the application, that is by using the OTP that we can see in here. I'm missing some configurations that I will show you in the next session because of time.